Hello, everybody. Welcome to TFT Talks Champions League. Joining me as always, the soccer dog from Canada. Looks like he's having some hamstring issues. How are you doing, Dr. Gravo?
I had my first game back from a hamstring strain in December, just this past Sunday. And let me tell you, I'm walking around pretty tight today. On both sides for some reason. I hurt the left and somehow also the right, but
Hmm.
it is what it is. I don't know. I got another one Friday. So
Nice.
8:45, which was the old Champions League time too.
Oh, there you go. There you go.
Mhm.
So talking about Champions League, of course, we're going to talk about it. Last week, we did a first show on Champions League, talked about the experience of Champions League, watching it, and their anthem and everything. We're able to catch up some of the games. To me, the standout game was PSG Bayern Munich. I think Munich played really well. They should have won more than one goal, but it was a fun game. I enjoyed the entire game. It was great.
Yeah, it was a good game. Obviously, the controversies too, right? With the
Hmm.
offsides,
Yep.
they were
Yep.
close.
Hmm.
And so, I'm sure depending which team you support, you interpret those calls differently. But yeah, obviously it was the highlight game. I think that tie is not over. To be honest, I don't think any tie is over except for maybe the Benfica one, but I thought that was over
Hmm.
before it
Yeah.
started. No, I thought that, like they were good first legs. I think they sort of set the stage. Obviously, Milan and Dortmund are up, but it would not surprise me if at least one of those English teams actually came back to win this. Um,
Hmm.
and the other nice thing is with all these 1-0 games, we might get extra time after some second legs,
Yeah,
The road goal rule is gone.
I know. I
So
was gonna say like that was. I don't know. I was in favor of the away goal. I think that made a lot of difference in my opinion. But I get it. Like, looks like I don't know. I'm not in favor of that rule change. Milan, like, so what's the point? Like, Milan won one nothing, but the away goal doesn't matter. So kind of
yeah,
that
but
was
it's
like
just
a
now you got to get the job done at home, right? Like you
yeah.
got to get at least a draw,
Yeah,
right?
but that game was boring. Both teams played bad, and of course Dortmund. That game was fun.
Yeah.
Dude, I think I mentioned this in our EPL show. The Chelsea owner was in awe with Dortmund's celebration, like
Hmm.
the fan experience. So which is hilarious for the other team owner to do it, and we didn't expect anything from Club Bruges either. So well, sweet. Let's look into the next four matchups this week. A lot of interesting matchups, of course. My favorite or everyone's favorite is going to be Liverpool Real Madrid, probably the biggest game this week. So what are we looking in terms of injuries? I know Darwin Nunes looks like he's out for 3 to 4 weeks. What's the latest update?
Yeah, I mean, if we start with Liverpool, I guess this is a situation where if you watch Dr. Atanda's video, we might disagree a little bit. So he's thinking about a dislocated shoulder. I'm wondering if it's more of a separated shoulder. To the non-medical people, you might be like, what does that mean? Long
Hmm.
story short, dislocation, the whole shoulder comes out of the socket. Whereas in this separated shoulder, it's your collarbone and your shoulder bone just widening a little bit. And so that can be really easily managed with some tape and some pain medicine. And Klopp even said today, this morning, that there's a chance that Nunez can play.
Hmm.
Um, so he didn't even rule him out yet. So
Interesting.
and his direct quote was, "We'll see how he can deal with the pain." So that's what made
Hmm.
me think it was more of a separated shoulder. Plus, like this isn't football or hockey, this is
Yeah.
soccer. So it's an easier injury to play through considering the sport. So that's the big one because it's the latest.
Can
Obviously,
he can he like put like those shoulder straps in play, or how would
no,
they
you don't
do it?
need even the harness. You don't
Okay.
even need them. You wouldn't even notice. It would just be some taping underneath for some
Okay.
support and then some pain management.
Oh,
So
interesting. Yeah.
yeah, so he's a possibility. I would say that he is going to be available for
Okay.
Liverpool tomorrow.
Well, that's
Right?
that's
That's
great
my
news.
pick. Yeah,
Yeah.
and then obviously Thiago's out with his hip injury. I don't even know if he's going to be ready for the second leg. Luis Diaz sounded like he started running at the start of the month, but it
Hmm.
sounds like he's still maybe a week or two away. And then there is Ibrahima Konate who's out. Um, so, that's another one. And then otherwise, there's some smaller injuries for them. And then flipping over to Madrid, there was some concern initially about Benzema and Cruz's availability, but Carlo Ancelotti shot that down. He said that they'll be fine for tomorrow. Obviously, on the weekend, Chouameni, I think he had a stomach bug or something, but he's considered available. It sounds like it's really just going to be Ferland Mendy who's going to
Okay.
be for sure out
Okay.
for them.
That's.
So, they've had a lot of injury issues, but it looks like they've sort of turned the corner and they're going to be fit for the match
I
tomorrow.
think. I think even Liverpool. I think they turned a corner. They played really well against Newcastle. Looks
They
like
did, yeah.
they're on line to finish top four. They have 2 games in hand, and they're sitting in sixth. So I think Liverpool is slowly coming back to form. Gakpo is slowly kicking the tires, playing really well lately. I think it's going to be a fun game. Did you read the news that Jurgen Klopp gifted Carlos Ancelotti a e-cigarette, also a vape. So, which was funny. Like, apparently, Ancelotti came out and said they're like best buds. They text each other, blah blah blah. So, I thought that was funny.
Yeah, I thought that was too. It's a nice touch. Everyone knows Carlo likes to smoke.
Yeah, that is true. Let's look into the other matchup. Frankfurt plays Napoli. Napoli is rolling in Italy right now, 67 points, like nowhere close to anyone else. 62, my bad. And they play Frankfurt. Frankfurt is sitting sixth in the Bundesliga. I'm not sure if they can pull up an upset out here, even though they're playing home. Any injuries we need to be aware for this game?
Napoli's pretty healthy. One of their backup strikers, Raspadori, has been out with hamstring injury, like I said, just recently injured. Potentially available for the second leg. And then for Frankfurt, they have Nacho Ferri out, and then they also have Junior Dina Mbibe. They've both been out since last month. It doesn't look like either of them are going to be fit anytime soon. Kind of a sneaky matchup, you know. I think Napoli's been on cruise control all year. They've been playing really well, and it's like, I feel like they'll probably just steamroll them and go by them, same way I did for Benfica. But, you know, Eintracht Frankfurt had a nice run in Europe last year. And if all of a sudden they get a result at home, all of a sudden that tie gets a little hairy. And then sometimes we see when teams kick into like a bit of cruise control, like we saw with Man City in the league, it's hard for them to sort of flick a switch when the Champions League comes, you know, and sometimes the team that's been fighting for position all year, the way Frankfurt has, is sort of already on the front foot and can catch them. So maybe a tad sneaky there, but yeah, I mean, probably going to be an easy one for Napoli, most likely.
That's what I think. But again, we'll see. We'll see what happens. The other big game, of course, we have to talk about Man City and Red Bull Leipzig. John Stones is out for a couple of months, and any other injuries for City?
No, I think that's it. I mean, Holland.
What about, is Gundogan back?
Sorry?
The Ilka Gundogan, is he back?
I think Gundogan's healthy. I could look it up for us, but no, I'm pretty sure, as far as I know, that he is available and fit. Yeah.
Well, that I think say they had a draw this past weekend against Nottingham Forest, so I think they're going to come out guns blazing, even though it's an away game. They're going to win this game. I don't see Red Bull sneaking in a win in this game. I don't see it.
Yeah, I don't either. I mean, they're fifth in Bundesliga. They're obviously one of these new clubs, right? Big investment sort of came out of nowhere. You know, they've also got some injuries. You know, Danny Olmo playing for the.
Oh yeah, that's true. Yeah,
he's out, right? So that's another thing that doesn't help. And so, you know, they're coming at less than 100% against a Man City team that's getting a little bit more fit outside of John Stones. So yeah, I think this could be another unexciting leg. But that's why we watch the games, right? I mean, there's upsets all the time. Teams like Juve, Barcelona are in the Europa League, and we're watching Club Brugge and RB Leipzig, right? So I mean, some of it obviously is the groups, but still.
Yeah, that's true. The other game wrapping up this weekend of Champions League is Inter Milan and FC Porto. I think that'll be a sneaky good game. Both are evenly matched up there.
Yeah, I think so too. I think that I think Porto, you know, the Portuguese league probably doesn't get as much respect as it deserves. I think it was a bit of a shock a couple of years ago when, like, the European league rankings, they had it ahead of the French league. But
French league, okay, it's not the French league, it's PSG. That's it. No one else.
Well, you know, Marseille, Lyon, Monaco, they're not supposed to be that bad, right?
True. Monaco had this 2 years of amazing. They just poured in all the money in there. They were good for a while, but then went down.
Yeah. No, they just disappeared. I know they sold everyone. I mean, Mbappe was a big sell, right? But if you think about it, every year we get to round of 16, who's there? Porto, Benfica, right? And then Sporting Lisbon's in there and stuff too. Like the Portuguese league is not bad.
It's not bad, but I think it also depends on the group, because they win their leagues and they're in the pool number 1, and they get all the easy draws. I don't know. They're always Benfica and Porto have that advantage. They're going to be in one of the top groups.
Yeah.
Unless the second team, the third team in their group is really good, they're never going to get knocked out. But unfortunately for teams like Barcelona, United, teams like that, we're always going to unless we win the league, we're never going to have that advantage. Did you look into the odds? Man City is favorite to win the Champions League, 30-1, which I don't know. It seems a little fishy. I don't know. What are your thoughts?
Yeah, I'm not fully convinced either. I think this one's hard to predict. just because it's sort of like last year's season. Like there is no like clear-cut team that is steamrolling everyone that everyone expects to. So like if you think about it, objectively, Napoli should be the favorite, right? Like if you consider all the leagues fairly equivalent,
Napoli is third on the
Napoli,
list. Napoli is
right?
plus
Napoli's
plus
the one to look
410.
at too. But like no one is expecting Napoli to just steamroll everyone and win the entire thing, right?
You know who's the sneaky pick for me? PSG. They're sitting at plus 1300.
I
No
think
one's.
PSG's going to win it. As soon as Messi won the World Cup, or Argentina, I should say, won the World Cup, I was like, this whole thing's going to just come together for them.
I
And
think that's like really good odds. Plus 1300 for PSG
big
to
odds.
win. Yeah, I like that. Like, dude, you put in like $100, you get 1300 back. So I don't know. Should be fun.
Or 10, 130. Where else can you turn 10 into 130? Even
There you
if you
go.
only you could skip lunch one day.
Or if you go to Chipotle 10 days. So there you go. I don't know if you
Right.
guys have Chipotle in Canada, but
We do. Very few,
okay.
but we have some. There's
Okay.
big
What's the
news.
what?
It's still busy all the time.
Okay, what's the Mexican chain out there? Qdoba or what's it?
We got Qdoba. We got this place called Quesada. And we got the infamous Taco Bell. We got
Wow.
Chipotle. We got quite a few. We have one called Mucho Burrito. I don't think that exists
Ooh.
in the States. That one's pretty good.
Nah, I
They're
don't
honestly
think
all really good to me. I'm too easy to please though. I love a good bowl. I love a good burrito.
There you go. Yeah.
Yeah. I
Chipotle
even
is my.
for mom and pop places though.
Oh, nice.
Mhm.
Yeah, we were in Denver this past weekend, and we went to this place called Maria's Empanadas. That's the first time I've had like an Argentinian dish. It was great. It was great.
Ooh.
Well, let's talk. Like, I'm kind of connecting Argentina winning the World Cup and bringing back the food.
I think that's
Kind
what's
of
gonna
got
happen.
distracted there. So yeah, PSG odds are really good. So I think it'll be fun. Thanks again everyone for joining. We'll see you guys in like a couple of weeks to do like another recap for the second leg, and hope you guys have like a wonderful weekend and enjoy Champions League and of course EPL as always. Thanks, Dr. Grable.